Lessons have been learned this week, and that is you don't mess with Frieren. I mean, we knew she was going to get out of that prison cell. There was no way that this stooge was going to be able to kill her, but you have to admit, he did come in prepared. I mean, that would have killed any other mage. The fact that she used mana to protect her neck, she didn't break a sweat, just to see him get absolutely brutally shattered and pretty much beg for his mama, only for her to just obliterate the fool. And I mean, she had the right idea. She had to get the hell out of Dodge. I mean, the bodies don't remain when you kill a demon and there's a dead guard. It's like, she's gonna get blamed, so screw this town, I'm out. But I kind of like what she ended up doing, where giving Fern and Stark kind of like the go-ahead, like, you guys are strong enough, you can go deal with these two stooges that are left. I'm just gonna leave the town, but what she's really saying is, I got bigger fish to fry, and that is going to be a very interesting fight, because she is built different, but what they're doing with these demons, and it's just pure mimicry, right? Like, there's no love, there's no emotion, it's just pure predatory bullshit. And just the fact that, it's not this dude being nice to Stark, like, oh, you're not actually a part of this, go ahead. No, there's just no threat in his point of view. Like, there's just no reason to lift a finger against someone so worthless, only for them to get a very rude awakening. This was fantastic, as every episode is. But full live reaction to today's wonderful free run episode over on my Patreon if you would like to see that. It's over there if you're interested. Now, there's a lot to unpack. This was a action-packed, jam-packed episode, but man, does it have me loving the characters top to bottom, including the demons. Like, the demons absolutely kill them all. Like, I 100% am on the path of they all need to be obliterated. It's like goblins and goblin slayer. Just go get rid of them. They offer nothing positive. You can't change them. There's no rationale. However, I love the leader of those three. Well, two at this point, because one is officially dead. I think his VA does a great job at not being intimidating in the way that he's trying to send a chill up your spine. He's so nonchalant about everything that the way he speaks to you, you have the same amount of opportunity to get your head cut off as he is to say, go on, run away, little puppy. Like, you have no idea where he's truly thinking at any possible moment. But the idea of simply just going with the flow, understanding that we need to keep this man alive because we need to take down this barrier. And I love the idea of how casually they bring up Frieren's master in terms of being this genius that even 1,000 years ago, this barrier that she ended up making is still so effective today. And if we rewind a few episodes back when we were going up against that beast who, at the time, I mean, Frieren and her party weren't able to defeat, right? That's why they ended up sealing him. We saw in present day that same spell was no longer relevant. It was small magic in the grand scheme of things. Magic evolves very quickly, but for some reason, because this genius was just that good, that hasn't been able to be overcome. And I love the idea that basically, like, they're smart enough to know that, listen, if you're able to let us pass through, but the barrier's still up, you have to know this is a secret. We want you to basically get rid of it, because otherwise they can't take the town. And no, they might be able to if they just slowly but surely do everything they need to here, but it's really about getting their whole party in. And Lolly Empress over here, I can't wait to hopefully see her head get cut off, and honestly, I think Frieren versus her, it will be a very interesting fight. It's interesting because of how long demons end up living, very similar to elves. The fact that he wasn't sure it was her at first, but by the end of this episode is 100% convinced that, Frieren the Slayer, yeah, there's a reason why immediately he felt a strong threat, right? When she was initially being dragged off to prison, he paid attention to no one other than her. Not because, she was so important or this or that. It's like, no one was a threat other than Frieren. And obviously they changed their tune by the end of the episode because our girl Fern came in and very much, similar to Frieren basically living up to her master's name, Fern is doing the same thing with Frieren and was able to use something that they're like, that is not that spell. I know what that spell is. You've changed it to the point where you can't even use that name anymore. But holy shit, like, yes, in theory, if we would have stayed fighting, maybe we would have been able to kill the girl, but this was a very risky situation. Like, we have one man tied up, bloody, beaten, and bruised. Stark, he might be able to do something, but he's still got that fear, and we only were able to do what we did because of that jump attack, so it made sense to retreat. And my prediction is that the girl is probably going to then chase after, we probably take care of her, and then we only have the Lord left, and that's when that will happen. But either way, I definitely wasn't prepared for how strong he was, or at the very least how quick he was. Because if we look at last week's episode when they were all kind of like drawing their blades, I thought, you know what, they might be able to kill him, but then the others would probably end up shooting. No, his blood manipulation is next level. I love the idea of using it almost like a whip, or the fact that when Stark gets an attack in on him, all the blood splatter, he just turns into projectiles. Like, he is such a badass. Like, I want to see him dead, but at the same time, he's such an amazing antagonist. If he makes it out of this arc and just continues to pop up, I'd be okay with that. I'm excited to see what they do, because honestly, I have no idea. But either way, the way they're handling demons and the coldness in someone like Frieren's eyes about why she, like, as soon as it starts begging, she knows these things are liars. They're pathological liars. They say what they think will save them. If they think talking about a mother and father will get them the W, they'll do it. So this thing begging for its life, these things don't care. Like, they're just trying to live so that it can then kill you. And she doesn't have any of that, and she suffocates that fool to absolute death. And it's nice because I thought immediately she would get blamed for the prison break, but I love how this dude is so intelligent. He's like, listen, she is incredibly strong, and she didn't put up a fight. She wouldn't kill my guards. You're missing a dude. It's pretty clear what happened, and then all hell breaks loose. I am very happy he's still alive. He is definitely selfless. He's like, take my amulet, the guards will listen to you. But goddamn, am I happy he got out of that alive, because it was looking rather rough for a little bit. I actually think this is probably my favorite visually produced episode of the show, not only because of like the giant laser blast or this or that, it's just like the way they handled magic in general. From minute one, using the like magical wires and the way they had like the mana around her neck, the blood manipulation, and just all these like moments were so good. But there's even like these attention to detail. So Stark is very nervous the whole episode, and understandably so. This is a pretty shitty situation. It's not even like when they focus in on him shaking, like half the time in the background shots, he'll be there and you just see him like just shaking, stammering. It just, he's so nervous, but he still stands his guard. And it's just like, the idea of like when they get out of the water, his shivering, there's just so many little details that they didn't need to go as hard as they did, but it adds to that immersion tenfold. And this was one of, if not the best episodes for me of this show. Like, this show has been fantastic for 8 episodes now, don't get it twisted, but there was something about this one that it surpassed my expectations and has me even more excited than I left last week with the whole like, oh shit, you know, she's talking like your boss ain't shit. And honestly, after what I saw, I'm willing to believe it, but you never know. These demons are crafty bastards. They might also have some tricks up their sleeves, but the thing is they hate geniuses, and geniuses is what Frieren's master was, and a genius is what Frieren currently is as well. And damn, is next week gonna be good. But let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more Frieren to the channel. And like I mentioned, we have a full live reaction over on my Patreon if you're interested. And hey, while you're there, you also get a video shout out. So today we have Steel Water, Tran Nugan, Edre Zahari, Tony X, Daniel Darby, and Spectra. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.